Can you tell us for the first time what VFS is and what it stands for?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity to invite us to be here within the community and talk about things that matters to the community. Fortunately, we are the ones who render some of the services that people need on a daily basis. Work closely with the embassy. I'll just take a couple of minutes to explain first of all who we are, what we do, so you have the context of why I'm here, and obviously then we take it ahead from there on if that's okay with you. So VFS Global, I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but it's the world's largest organization in terms of providing solutions, technology and support to the governments. This concept was born in India in 2001 when the US Consulate in Mumbai, first time ever in the history, decided to use an external partner to sort of modernize the services that they are rendering to the citizens of that country. So our first project was in India in 2001. This idea was conceptualized by our founder and CEO then, and since then it has been a success story. In fact, it's been one of the major success story coming out of India, wherein now we work with 71 governments across 168 countries in the world in the last 25 years. We have seen, of course, different challenges. The most recent one was COVID, or whether the geopolitical situations in some of the regions in the world. Coming back to US now, in that context, we are the exclusive and official partner to Embassy of India and the various consulates that they have across US. We provide all the services related to passports, visas, OCI, and other related services from our centers. We have been working with them for more than 5 years now. Our recent contract that we have sort of upgraded last year in August expanded that cooperation from 6 locations to 17 locations. And of course, very happy that there is a center in Raleigh as well, which was not there before. In that context, we are working closely with the people of the community. And today, in that capacity, I head the business for VFS in America. I will be very happy to sort of clarify anything, any questions, any comments that the community members we have. But our always aim is to modernize these services, make it convenient and comfortable for people. And what one of the panelists mentioned before, and I was hearing and I totally agree with him, when you're talking about the connect between the diaspora community and the country back home, one of the important elements is how comfortable people feel taking services from embassy, how convenient those processes are. Because sometimes, let's not forget, when you are planning to take your travel, the first thing that you need is visa. And if that process itself is not comfortable for you, you can just look at a second option. This effect. We deal with so many governments and we understand how important these matters are. So in that context, of course, once again, thank you for this opportunity. The industry, if you look at the visa outsourcing industry, if I can, put it in that term, that was started by the birth of VFS. There was no such industry before. The first ever such concept happened in Mumbai in 2001, which I mentioned. And since then, this success story has, of course, only grown further. We have seen most of the governments using this model. It might look quite simple when we say outsourcing, but it is a more detailed and sophisticated process where the data security, the personal information of people, the policies of the governments are having a direct impact on this, right? Because when, for example, when you travel from India to US, you are going to VFS office in New Delhi or Mumbai or any other city in India, and that's where you are giving all your documents, you're giving your biometrics data, and same biometrics data and then getting checked at the airport, right? So there is a complete solid process in the back end that is working with each government. And I'm glad that in context to India, because I'm coming back to the community because that's why we are discussing here, is Indian government also, Embassy of India last year decided to expand their cooperation with us. Earlier we were working for them in 6 locations in US. Now we work for them in 17 locations. We inaugurated Raleigh last year. I think it was end of August if I'm not wrong. And this cooperation of course shows that the diaspora in US is very, very important for the embassy. And they want to do everything possible to make sure the services are not only comfortable and convenient, but they're also very transparent, they're also very modern, and they are easily accessible by people.
Yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to its founder, Mr. Jubair Karkaria, who created an industry out of nowhere. And today he's present in 100 plus countries, serving more than 70 governments You can't find any other Indian company doing that much. But when someone goes and applies for the visa at the VFS Global, what are the things they should do and they shouldn't do?
So, first of all, what we always focus on, we want to tell people that this process is quite simple. You don't need a third party in that. Embassies and the governments appoint companies like VFS to make sure that services are easily accessible. We are at your doorstep literally. You don't have to look for a third party to do your stuff, so that you don't get charged extra by people. We can term them as agent or whatever we may call it. The process is quite simple. We have three sort of main domain here where you can get the information from, which is like our website is the first one where you can easily accessible all the information which is approved by the embassy and the consulates. There is not a single word over that website which is not approved by them. The second, of course, possible means is you call to our call center where you can talk to people. If you are someone who don't want to be, not comfortable doing information on the website, just call on the call center. That is also possible. The third way is if both of these things don't work, you can just walk down to our center, asking for any information, trying to know what documents are required for visa or passports or OCIs. There is no cost to that. It's totally free. You can ask those questions as many times as you want, right? So we have these three methods when people can either go to our center, visit our website, give a call to the call center, and get all the information that they want. Normally, what we advise them, if you're applying for a visa, don't wait till the last moment, because every application has a process in the back end which may not be visible to you as an applicant, right? So if you are applying like 5 days before your travel, it can be possible that you might not get it on time because there are some other things that are going to get checked and verified in the back end, right? So always take that extra time with you. Make sure you're aware about the documents that are required for the application. Make sure you're applying for the right category. You have the right purpose of visiting a country, whether it's India or any other country for that matter. I don't want you to remember the COVID experience literally, but the travel was quite restricted. A lot of countries sort of closed the borders. Then it was partially opened. It was opened with a condition: either you need to be vaccinated or you need to have a PCR test done within 24 hours or 48 hours before you make your travel, right? So in that sense, that experience was quite a massive experience for us as an organization because everything was standstill. During the COVID period, at that point in time, we had more than 4,000 centers, physical centers across the globe, which came to completely standstill. But we used that period to sort of, look at what we can do when we come out of this crisis. What are the technologies that we can implement? So, for example, we launched something called Visa at your doorstep. That in case you don't want to come to our office, we can give the service at your home. That is something was launched by us with a lot of governments. We launched something called mobile biometrics, where people, for example, applying for a UK visa, let's say, in US, and somebody is living 200 kilometers from here, they can opt for their service from their home. So we created these solutions during the COVID times when the physical centers were not working. We were kind of went on the sort of a drawing room and see what communities want, what people are looking forward to. But since then, the trend has been positive. 23 and 24 was the 2 years where we see the peak of the travel happening. This year is again a bit of, I would not say best of the year because of the geopolitical tension in some of the regions. But travel as an industry is a very, very solid industry. It is a resilient industry. People like to travel. And we have seen now, it's no more a luxury. We are in the industry for 25 years. I am myself working with VFS for 21 years and more. Worked in different geographies in Europe, in Dubai, and of course now in US. We have seen it's no more a luxury. People would like to take breaks. They would like to take a couple of breaks in a year. One in the summer, one in the winter. So travel is very much part of our life now. And that is why we are trying to make this experience as comfortable and convenient for people. And we encourage them to travel a lot. And if the visa is a part of that travel, which we can simplify, we will of course do that.